Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Tesla's Referral program, which is basically the free supercharger miles, the current program that's been around for about a year now. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So I decided to make this video because I found that this supercharger program, referral miles thing is kind of complicated. I found it very confusing for the most part. So I made out this little graph, and you can see my actual referrals here and stuff. So first I want to thank Brad and Charles. So this is probably the only way you found my referral code was watching YouTube videos. So thanks for using my referral code, especially Charles, because I think he waited like 2 months, like almost 2 months or over 2 months to get his car. So thanks for being patient on that. And so basically, the reason why I found this referral program kind of confusing is because it builds on each other in a sense. So basically, I mean, like it says on Tesla's website, it says you get one referral, it's good for 6 months. But then if you start to get more than one referral, and if you get the ball rolling, quote unquote, the program is kind of confusing on when your miles expire. So on at least Apple's latest update, their mobile update, this one, 3.10.4, they now have an expires date on the, like, when your miles expire. So you don't really have to think about it, but I decided to go back and, explain exactly how it works, because I thought it was kind of confusing. So if you just have one referral, it's not a big deal. You get 6 months and that's it. And so basically my first referral was 12/18. And so at that point, it would have been good until 6/18/20, so 6 months from then, to use 1,000 miles. And so I had thought that at the time that if I were to get another referral, that it would just add 6 months to this date. So it would be, okay, I got another referral in March, and my new timeline to use up all my referrals would now be 12/18/2020. And obviously that's not the case, because I got one last month, 3/18/20, and it says it expires 3/18/21, so it's a year. So basically what happens is when you start getting referrals on top of referrals within the 6 month time frame, like I said, you kind of get the ball rolling in a sense, and they kind of pack Tesla gives you more benefit of the doubt. Or they just give you like a more benefit than they need to, just because Tesla's cool and Elon is cool. So basically what happens is, if you get a referral within the 6 months you've already had a referral, it gets your time to use the supercharger miles gets extended by at least 6 months. But basically what they do is they give you an extra benefit by giving you that extra time period. So basically there's a 3 month gap here. So basically by getting a second referral, I got an extra 3 months off of an extra 3 months to use my supercharger miles. So like I said, I thought it was supposed to be 12/18/20, but now it's actually 3/18/21. So it's extra 3 months. So basically what happens is they just pile it on basically. So whenever your last referral is, the 1 year, 1.5 years gets added to that time. So I have more examples. So as you can see, 6 months when I first got my first one would have been 6/18/20. I got another one on 3/18. So now it's 2 referrals. So that's a year that I get to use it from this date. So now it's 3/18/21. So if you keep going on that logic, let's just pretend I got another one on 5/5. So that's 3 referrals within that time frame, because I got it before 3/18/21. So now I have a year and a half to use it, and a year and a half from 5/5/20 is now 11/5/21. So again, same thing. Let's say I get another one in October. So that's 4 referrals in that time frame. So that's 2 years I get to use it. So that would be now 10/15/22. Okay, so there is a limit though, so you can only keep supercharger miles for 3 years total, so that's 6 referrals. So if you get 6 referrals within that time frame, it's just going to be automatically 3 years. So let's say I get another one on 11/12. 3 years from that is 11/12/23. I've also verified this with another friend that got a whole bunch of miles all at once, within like a two-month time span. And so he's got 3 years worth of time to use those supercharger miles from that last referral that he got. That was in last December. So, and after you get 3 years, if you keep getting referrals, then it just basically extends your time you can use them by the extra month where. So I just did, okay, I got another one this next coming Christmas. And so since I've already gotten 6 referrals, I've got my 3-year limit rolling, and it just changes over off that. So now it's, instead of 11.12, it's 12.25. And so if you've looked at, I'm sure you've seen other YouTubers like Tesla Joy, friend Tesla Joy, or like Dirty Tesla or Frugal Tesla Guy. These types of guys are like Tesla Raj. All these types of guys that are kind of bigger in this Tesla community are going to be getting referrals like every month. So even if you look on Twitter, I think a lot of times Tesla Joy will actually put like, hey, thanks, this month I got this many referrals. And so basically all those bigger YouTubers, they're going to be getting referrals like every month. So basically whatever month it is, they're just going to extend it by the 3 years. So they're just going to keep having a 3-year window to use their supercharger miles, which I think Tesla Joy had like 175,000 and Dirty Tesla had like 163,000 miles to use. So it's like they have basically free supercharger miles forever for the most part. So that's how the supercharger program, referral program works right now with the whole 3-year thing. One other thing I wanted to point out too is that on Tesla's website, it says, you have 6 months to use these supercharger miles. So if you use them all up within that 6 months, if you get another referral after that, then your 6 months just restarts from the date that you get that new referral. And so that's why I keep using this quote as like, keep the ball rolling. So if you get like 2 referrals, you get a year, 3 referrals, year and a half. And so basically, if you keep getting referrals within 6 months, depending where you are in this whole thing, you'll keep getting your term extended. And so I just want to point that out. Obviously the best way to do this, if you could control this, which you can't, is to keep getting referrals like, a year apart or a year and a half apart. So that way you can really extend how far you can use these supercharger miles. But, obviously we can't control that. And so basically, if they're spread out, that's going to benefit you more than if you get a whole bunch all at once. So just something I want to point out. I do have a little bonus for you too as well. And when you get a referral, it says on the website, in your in your app that you get 1,000 miles, but it's actually a little bit more than that. It's more like you're only using, when you go to the supercharger to supercharge, you're only using about 60% of what your actual computer says, and what the app says. You're only using about 60%. So I give a little bit, like one example. I'm actually working on another video for this, and if I could ever drive my car again because of the whole what's going on in the world, I could get better data on this. But basically what it looks like is, the example that I have is, I got 98 miles on my car, so I know that doesn't include phantom drain and blah, blah, blah. The whole mileage thing isn't really correct, but for this example, I got 98 miles worth of charge. But in the app, it actually only took, from this number, it only took 60 miles. So basically, you're only using about 60% of the 1,000 miles in there. So that's another kind of generous thing that Elon is giving us. So basically, if you put that into calculation, like, it was pretty consistent so far, so I'm going to assume it's almost going to be that. Instead of getting 1,000 miles, you actually get 1,600 miles for free with each referral. So maybe that's another incentive for you to try to get referrals, because you actually get like 1.5 times more than you should be. And so it is kind of nice that that's there. But if you can't get them, or you're just not popular like some of these YouTubers or whatever, don't really worry about it too much, because I actually calculated the cost too. So if you get, let's just use the 1,600. I have it at 1,000 too, but if you were to get one free referral, the supercharger cost, you're only losing about $116, which isn't too much. And per home cost, $72. And so how I calculated this is, I have some other videos where I calculate my efficiency and all that stuff. And so a good average, mine is about 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour, but a good average is 4 miles per hour. 4 miles per kilowatt hour. If you take that, then that's how I came up with these numbers. Times 18 cents, which is about the home rate of PG&E, my utility company. And then around here in the superchargers is about 29 cents a kilowatt hour. So that's how I came up with these. And so if you were to miss out on a referral, you're only losing about $100, which isn't that much. That's like two or three tanks of gas, like three tanks of gas. So it's not too much. And so anyways, I wouldn't worry about it too much if you can't get referrals. They're not super, they're not monetarily, they're not that valuable. A little bit, but not really. So I just want to explain how the supercharger referral program worked. Hope that was helpful and kind of cleared up the whole 1 year, 1.5, 2 year thing, since that was kind of confusing to me anyway. Knowing this information, does this give you more incentive to try and get referrals because now you know how it works exactly with the whole 3 year thing, and they actually give you 1,600 miles around, rather than just 1,000? Does that give you more incentive to try and get them? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.